Port Aransas. It's been fun, but it's time to move on.
Well, hello and welcome to today's episode where we share some of the tips or insights, really some of the things to look for or look out for as you travel the ICW from Port Aransas to Galveston or Galveston to Port Aransas. We've been living aboard on the Texas coast for almost a year now, not quite, but almost, and we've traveled this path a few times. We've been offshore a few times. And there's some things that we wish we would have known before we started cruising here, and we want to share those things with you. So, things like which bridges to look out for, where are there good marinas for sailboats, where can you get diesel. So we hope you enjoy this episode. We hope it's very helpful for you.
We love Port Aransas, but this is likely to be our last time here, and we can't recommend it enough. By powerboat, by sailboat, or heck, just drive here for the weekend. When we bought our sailboat, we knew it would be easy to fall in love with the places she would take us. But we didn't know how easy it would be to meet really cool people, but it seems living on a sailboat is a very social way to live. That's cool with us. So, after walking the town, finding the best restaurants, trying some great drinks and ice cream, and just having fun with the kids, it was time to leave. And we wanted to travel with our friends who own a powerboat. That means we were going back to Galveston via the Intracoastal Waterway.
Okay, here's the challenge. We have a barge coming, and we have shoaling. Let me get this focus to work. There it is. Shoaling, barge. There's the challenge. We've got to thread the needle.
So with barges, we've learned that a good pair of binoculars is priceless. Binoculars can help you see far ahead and give you time to react, time to slow down, speed up, determine whether or not you're going to go into the wash of the prop of a barge, which can totally push you, or if there's room next to a shoal, which is a shallow area of land. And two other tools that we found to be priceless when navigating around barges are AIS. AIS allows you to see their speed and their course so you know which direction they're heading. Radar is the other tool. Binoculars, AIS, and radar, especially as it gets dark, you can start to see where they are. And I think there's nothing more dangerous than a barge a few hundred feet off your beam.
A few tips. Number one, going through the locks, definitely have your radio, have it on 13. These particular locks, they use 13, as well as the barges here on this stretch of the ICW. So that's an important thing. Call ahead. Always call ahead. Lesson we learned. Call ahead a week ahead of time to know if there's any closures. And
we're ready with our first cut whenever y'all ready for it. We have any coke yet? Come back with that?
call ahead the day before, just in case the schedule is different. They're not going to be open during a certain hour time frame. Right now they're working on the locks, so we're going to pause here for 20 minutes. And then we call ahead about 4 hours ahead of time, just to double check, to make sure if they want us to come on the hour or on the half hour. Otherwise, we don't want to...
Skipper, you'll be the last one to go westbound. You got 6-5 in front of you.
We don't want to follow all the barges through. Too much traffic, too much mayhem. Right now, they're letting westbound traffic come. We are eastbound. So we're going to have...
When you get across, you might have to wait on some more space.
We're going to have some traffic here. So I'm gonna turn my boat around and we're gonna figure out what's happening and we'll get back with you. Okay, so we're going through the gates. I only ever feel like we know half what's happening, even when we're talking with them. Because they use, they're short, they don't talk long sentences. So they open the gates, they said come on through, but there's a barge coming in, we have to get out of the way. So that means we're going through, but have to get out of the way at the same time. Not sure what that means precisely. I got my friend going in front of me, so we'll find out with him. We might have to hang out in the river in between the gates to let that barge through. We're about to find out. I'm gonna give this EMR some juice. About 3,500 RPM so we can get through. All right, so we made it through that first gate. And they got a double barge coming through this next gate. And it looks like we'll be clear after that. That's that.
This trip from Port Aransas to Galveston Bay on the ICW is going to be 2 nights. You could turn it into 3 nights if you choose to anchor in Matagorda Bay. And there are 2 main marinas. We recommend Matagorda Harbor, which is a small but safe, secure, and very pleasant, and we've always been very happy to arrive at Matagorda Harbor. And then the second marina that we recommend is in Freeport, and that is Surfside Marina. It is clean, great facilities. It's mostly catered towards fishing boats, power boats, but the slips are deep, even if the current is slightly strong. There's diesel and all of the amenities you'll need for a quick overnight stay, or even a few nights if you want to enjoy the restaurants or stroll on the beach.
So as you're crossing the bay waters on the ICW, you're going to experience different levels of chop. Normally it's 1 to 2 feet, but you should be prepared for up to 2 to 4 feet of choppy bay conditions. We have 20 knots of wind right now. We're motoring straight into it. And we're in Aransas Bay, and I'm looking at it. It's maybe only 2 feet of chop. I'm going to say 1 to 2. It's not bad. There's occasional, spray from the bow, but the boat handles it well. If you're in a smaller motor craft or smaller sailboat, you might get some overspray into the cockpit. Not bad. Let's take a look at it. Okay, so we're coming to the end of Aransas Bay. We passed through Rockport, Fulton. It opens up. The bay opens up here towards the end. You can get good wind and there's good sailing. It's 10 feet deep on each side of the channel. So you can actually stay in the ICW and sail. You can turn up, bear away if you have to for, a certain distance. I haven't sailed beyond 100 to 200 feet of each side of the channel, so I can't speak for that. But here towards the end, you really got to stay in the channel. It gets shallow on each side. There's oyster harvesting around here. We've got some reefs and shoals on each side of the ICW. Anyway, there's a straight cut through here. We're gonna have beautiful protection, and then we'll be going to San Antonio Bay.
Welcome to San Antonio Bay, but the outsides of the channel are very, very shallow, so we're motor sailing in the channel just in case we have to dodge something.
They're booking it. It's good speed here. It's a nice open bay, so you have good wind, but there's a lot of oyster work here, so we do not get out of the channel.
And finally, Matagorda Bay. Matagorda Bay is super long. However, it is the last bay for a chance to sail before you go into the ICW all the way into Galveston West Bay. We often experience 20 plus knots of wind in this bay, and typically 1 to 3 foot choppy waves. That's very common in our experience. So the Caney Creek Swing Bridge has a vertical clearance of 4 feet. So yeah, you have to call them on channel 13 and they'll open it up for you. But looks like there's new construction with plenty of clearance for the future.
All right, so this is the FM 1495 bridge just as you enter Freeport, Texas. We just passed through the locks. Now we have a bridge, plenty of vertical clearance. We're gonna pass through the ship channel and we'll have another bridge. This is actually a good area to go through as it gets dark because it's so well lit. Navigation is quite easy. Yay, we made it! Plenty of room, always is. With their buddies back here. Pelican. All right, well, Nancy's made us a great lunch here. Check it out.
What's left of it?
Bell peppers, onions, pickles, crackers, and tuna. And, oh yeah. I love this. Guacamole habanero sauce. Sarsaparilla. It's good stuff. But, apart from that, we want to share with you. We're in Galveston now, heading back from Port Aransas. Today's been a lovely trip from Freeport to Galveston. It's 2:20. We left Surfside Marina where we got diesel at around 9 o'clock. So my math, that's about 5 hours, a little over 5 hours to get to Galveston. Not bad. Offit's Bayou is this way. We've stayed there before and love it. But we do want to show you the last bridge on this part of the ICW, and that is the Galveston Causeway Bridge. If you're ever concerned whether or not they have the railroad part of the bridge up or down, you can just call them on channel 69.
Galveston Causeway. Is the bridge open?
There is a railroad bridge that goes up and down. It's almost always open. I think they just responded back, it's open. But just in case, you can always call. That's about it. We can show the bridge if you want. Occasionally you'll see a boat on the side of the ICW. If you don't watch the maps, I guess you could ground and end up in a bad location. Maybe if you try to anchor, not a good spot. Pretty good sized boat there. Looks like they're having a bad day. Maybe a few weeks ago. The discovery here is yet maximum RPM on the Yanmar is about 3,800. We had it full throttle getting through there. We didn't have to for current's sake, but we had to. The guy came on the radio and said, sailboat, you better book it. I was like, all right. We didn't see anything coming, so we did full throttle, and this dude's still over here. I don't know.